Alright folks, here we are in Game 2 in this second best of 3 between Complexity and Karanta Esports. Again, this is pretty much like the last Karanta Esports games you're going to see in a long time. Spawning here in the top left corner of the map, currently up 1, it is the Red Terran, the STC. Nova? Okay, well his opponent in the lower right, also playing for Complexity, but representing Karanta Esports, it is the blue Protoss, viPro.
Okay.
Hello?
Sorry.
Thought I lost you there for a second, but alright, cool. Now the big thing here too, guys, again, we'll say this every game, yes, it says Complexity versus Complexity, viPro was picked up by Complexity, but he is playing for Karanta. So have no fear, you're not confused, we didn't grab the wrong players, this is how it's meant to be.
No, it's more like he still plays, he's still registered to the old roster from his former team, and else he couldn't play in this tournament. So that's what's up.
Now I'm a little curious, viPro just went down one in a very long, very big macro game, and he's got to be saying to himself, like, look, there's so many engagements, I had the 3-3 upgrades, I was so far ahead, I had the Colossus count, it looked like I was going to win all of those engagements, but every single time, the STC surprised everybody. It was like, hey, guess what? I still got like 8 Marauders alive, deal with it. So I'm curious to see if viPro will try and end this earlier. Now I'm not saying anything crazy like a 4-gate all-in or ridiculousness, but...
What viPro was lacking late game was perhaps a War Prism harassment.
Oh, that's right, the War Prism Speed Boost is now live.
Or Dark Templar. He had none of that, and I think if he added a little bit more harassment himself, he could have perhaps thrown the STC off like the STC did to viPro.
Yeah, well, the biggest thing about the Speed Boost of the Warp Prism, guys, is the Vikings no longer outrun it. The unupgraded Warp Prism outruns Vikings, so you can get away with a lot more that you could not get away with before.
Yeah, like an Immortal drop, for example, could do so much in your opponent's base. Just an Immortal drop with 4 Zealots warped in, and you can kill a lot of stuff.
Well, 2 racks is coming out of the STC with an expansion. This isn't exactly an all-in, but this can be quite a lot of pressure if viPro doesn't have a Mothership Core out early. Kind of hoping to be Reapers, but it is going to be Marines.
Yeah, just the Marines.
Of course, no gas is taken. It would have been
very
the STC
interesting. Also not favoring the Reaper, just as QXC, as you said.
Well, again, it's kind of an iffy thing. You donate 50 gas to get the same information that, look, suddenly this SCV has got it. I mean, it depends on how safe versus risky you want to play, I think. And if you want to keep scouting over and over, the Reaper's better. But if you just want to initially see, like, okay, look, he's got the expansion, he's not 4-gating me, the SCV is a perfectly fine scout for that role.
Yeah, and I mean, the SCV sees everything he needs to know. He saw the 3rd pylon being built in base. If there's no 3rd pylon in the Protoss base, you know it's probably proxy.
Oh, and look at the STC. You're so smart, checking around for proxy pylons. Anyways, doesn't want to risk anything. And the bunker at the top of the ramp will keep most things out of the base.
Yeah.
But of course, the annoying thing is, viPro can run right past the bunker. There's only 1 Marine in it.
Yeah, but with a 2nd and a 3rd Marine and a 4th on the map as well, I don't think the Stalker should risk walking inside.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, it depends on how badly you want that information, right?
Yeah, of course.
I would love for him to poke to the top of the ramp to at least confirm the command center and then back off, because of course he'll just lose shields in doing that, maybe a little bit of hull damage, but...
Well, I do think if he gets like 3 Stalkers,
he
could try it with a Mothership Core, but nah.
He already saw the expansion, so I take that back. I didn't realize that was already scouted. But speaking of Mothership Core, we've got the Mothership Core coming across the field, as well as some probes, start putting out some proxy pylons. Now, 2 more gates in a row coming down. This isn't any sort of anything close to an all-in, which is very rare to say, I feel, when it describes Protoss builds and pokes, but he's going to do a lot of damage with this.
Yeah.
I would love if this was a Warp Prism. I mean, it would just change everything, and the STC probably still not used to it either.
Did he... He has no bunker. If he has like just a bunch of units, like if this 1 Stalker and his next unit, it's a sentry, never mind. Then he could do some damage together with the Time Warp, but that's not the case. We're gonna see none of that. And yeah, for the rest, viPro is just playing textbook Protoss.
This is cool. The SEC is actually pushing out with a handful of unupgraded Marines, and that's fine, because look, he went for the +1 side in hand with the stim pack, so, I mean, he's kind of aware, like, look, there's going to be a photon overcharge, I can only go so far, why not cause a lot of damage outside the base, or at least try and contain my opponent? Alright, some nice hit and run coming to viPro. TheStC, of course, can use these bushes if he wants to.
Yeah, and that many Marines, there's too many low Marines to engage 2 Stalkers. The Stalkers will keep outranging it, and no point. Smart move to go back.
Well, looks like he wants to take a very quick third here, on location as well, not in base. Very interesting point. But we got the reactor coming down, we got the Starport ready for that swap. I mean, once he's got that medevac out, these Marines are going to have no problem stimming to chase down any Stalkers on the field.
And also like it, adding the second forge. Compared to last game, he only went for 1 forge for quite a long time, but he feels quite safe. Well, now it's a bit of a reverse role. Last game, the STC had double engine bay, while he only has 1 at the moment.
Well, the big thing too about the Forge is that's really nice is the fact that, you know, you've got Chrono Boost. As a Protoss player, you should always be ahead in upgrades, and if you got double upgrades ahead, like you're engaging 3-3 when your opponent's just barely finishing up 2-2, you're gonna have such a good engagement.
Yeah, in this scenario, if he keeps the Chrono Boost on the Forges, he just spotted as well with the Hallucinated Phoenix that the STC is on 1 engineering day. I think the STC does have 1 weapons already. No, yeah, he has 1 weapons already, but he could perhaps, if he Chrono Boosts fast constantly, he could perhaps make a 2-2 timing soon with some Colossus and Charlotte, but I don't think he want to just take that risk just yet.
This is a really interesting push coming out of the SCC. He's not waiting for the medevacs. He'll meet up with them outside the base, but I mean, right now, this is a small force, but it's enough to deal with a Colossus that doesn't have extended thermal lines. Lots of force cells are going to have to be burned, as well as that photon overcharge. And if he can bait it out sooner than later, ooh, can he get... No, it's just barely going to run out of range.
Yeah, and of course he knows what's up. Brought everything back.
Ooh, a nice drop. Gonna get set up here to go to the natural, but of course, again, as I stated earlier, photon overcharge and these Colossus, they're in position, they're ready to deal with this.
Yeah, but what I would actually like to see as well, he has an SCV at the 3rd, and I would like to see him just build a bunker or something, just to delay the expansion even more. But here's the drop at the natural, and there's the overcharge.
He baits it out, really nicely done.
Yeah, it doesn't lose much. But what I say, building the bunker at the 3rd would be nice for the SCCs. He's taking his own 3rd, he's mining from it, and it's just gonna keep delaying our Protoss even more. And then perhaps he can do a drop in the main.
You know, I always wonder, like, when you see medevacs, they can drop 1 unit at a time, but they can pick them all up instantly. Can you imagine if, like, the Wings of Liberty campaign upgrade, where you could just drop everything out of the medevac at once? Can you imagine how different this game would be if you could just instantly drop 4 Marauders on top of a Colossus?
Well, I would probably be playing Terran at that.
I think a lot of people would probably be playing Terran, but alright, the overcharge is going to wear off soon, but it's still here for a few more seconds. But the SCC is going to try and focus it down. It draws the army, but viPro knows what's up. He doesn't want to get baited, but the Colossus is focused down by these Marauders. Oh, he cannot afford to lose this expensive, crucial unit.
Oh, he's going for it, and it falls. Oh, the other Colossus is very vulnerable too. Does he see it?
I was not going to be able to pick off this other Colossus, I feel. But he's going to get the sentries, which is kind of huge.
Could always lift up and... yeah.
GG. So 2-0 sweep for the STC, and I think that is everything. I'll see if a 3rd place match is even going to be played, but I don't think it does.